What's up, y'all? Welcome back to FTG Weekly. I am your host, Dylan. Follow all the socials right here. If you're wondering why we missed last week's FTG Weekly, I was on a trip in Yosemite with a couple of my friends that I hoop with. I'll flash some pictures right here as well. It was a great time. Got to go in the wilderness. We did miss the Kevin Durant trade, the Kristaps trade. Masai Ujiri lost his job. And we recovered from missing the NBA draft by doing the episode with my brothers, which we will be doing another episode with them. I think it's going to be posted Saturday. We're going to film it tomorrow, 4th of July, about our winners, losers, and biggest surprises again. But this time for the NBA offseason, the first week of signings, I'm going to go over a couple that I don't think are going to get brought up. And also go through MLB stuff. We got the All-Stars selection, so we'll do a little bit on that. And then the NFL, my Miami Dolphins made some wicked trades. So excited to get into all that right now. First up on the docket, though, I have to talk about my New York Knicks finally getting a head coach, and they decided to go with Mike Brown. Now, I love this Mike Brown signing. If you've seen any of the videos of him and just the intensity that he brings and the mind that he has for basketball, it's really, really nice. He has so much passion and intensity, and not to mention how he really swung that Kings team with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. They had such a big jump, and his player development, I really, really enjoyed the way that he coached that Kings team and the way that offense flowed and how much better they got defensively. I know they are not seen as a defensive team, but late in games they were making stops and doing the right things a lot of the time. A couple of my friends are really big Kings fans, and I got to talk to them about it, and they loved the signing for us. They thought with our personnel and what we have going on, Mike Brown is the perfect fit of the available coaches. Yes, it's not the big move, right? You move on from Tom Thibodeau, and it's not the big splash that you're thinking it's going to be, but if you go and get the right guy, firing Thibs isn't the worst thing in the world. I do love Thibs, and I'm so thankful for what he did for us, but I think this Mike Brown hiring is a step in the right direction. One big thing that he does is passes per game. They were top 5 in passes per game, talking about the Kings when they had him, and that was one of the big problems with the Knicks is they don't move the ball a lot. They don't move off ball enough, and they don't create for Cat like they should, and I think Mike Brown is a mind that can do that. Even though he is primarily a defensive coach, I think his offensive scheme can benefit New York and be the thing that puts us over the hump in a really weak East. The Knicks also went and signed Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele, and I think both these signings are amazing for much different reasons than each other. I adore the Clarkson signing. I think it is perfect. I think it is exactly what everyone said we needed throughout the last couple years, but especially this year in the playoffs, is you don't have a bench bucket. Someone who can come into the game and just go score for you. You need that if you're a team like the Knicks who are so defensively built. To have Jordan Clarkson, especially on a veteran minimum, who averages 16 points per game last year for the Jazz, I expect that to drop and the efficiency to jump a little bit because he won't have to shot chuck as much as he did for Utah, but that move was amazing. You go and get Yabusele, who's just going to play hard. He's going to play that 4, and everyone's like, oh, he's such a bad rebounder. He's not the best defender, but that's not why the Knicks went and grabbed him. You grab him for his 39.5% above the break shooting percentage, his 70% field goal at the rim. Nobody wants to go chest to chest with this guy. He can move the ball. He can run the floor. He's a little bigger and stockier, so you can put him at the 4 with Mitch at the 5, and you don't lose rebounding because you have Josh Hart, Cat, and Mitch, who are such elite rebounders. I think that this was an amazing move by the Knicks, an amazing signing, and just so far the Knicks offseason is going beautifully. To move to another team that I think made the move that everybody said was going to happen but needed to happen is the Lakers signed DeAndre Ayton. For such a good deal, too. You did 2 years, $16 million, I believe. So it's $8 million a year on top of what he's going to make from the Suns. I think he's going to make like $34 million this year to play for the Lakers, which is insane. Good for you, DeAndre. But I just think it was a great move. You got a cheap center at really like half the price you should be paying him. I think other teams would pay him around that mark for the averages that he had in the last couple years. And now you have a lob-catching, rebounding center for Luka, which is all he ever needed. Now LeBron and Luka have a center to play off of and be able to play that free-flowing game that they like to do, throw lobs, kind of work in that pick and roll. You have a real center. It's such an upgrade from Jackson Hayes. If DeAndre Ayton goes out there and gives you 15 and 11, 16 and 11 every night, you're very happy paying him $8 million a year to go put up those numbers with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves out there with him. Just flat out beautiful move by the Lakers. I don't think it's like a big win or a big loss as a team or a huge surprise. I just think that's a good move that isn't going to get talked about by me and my brothers in a couple days. Now, to stray away from basketball, I know it's the thick of the offseason, but we're going to talk more about that later. In the world of baseball, we have the All-Star game. The starters have been picked and released to the public, and there's just a couple guys that I am so happy for, right? I feel like the NL was really cut and dry. You know, you have Will Smith, Shohei, Freddie. You have Cattell, Machado, Lindor, PCA, Kyle Tucker, and Acuna. You get a bunch of like big name guys other than PCA's having a great year, you know, breaking out for the Cubs. But the NL was kind of cut and dry. I want to talk about the AL. The AL is so awesome. You get Ryan O'Hearn at DH. He's been having a fantastic year. And Javi Baez is starting in center field in the year 2025 in the All-Star game. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? Everyone's been memeing out Javi Baez for years because he kind of deserved it. He swung at every curveball in the dirt. He had the worst plate discipline you've seen, but he turned it around. He went to a team, they put him in a different position, and he's locked in. And this Tigers team is awesome. To piggyback off that, you get Glaber playing second and Riley Green. Man, the Tigers are running the AL. They are a true contender, and I think that this All-Star selection really shows that. And another amazing pick was Jacob Wilson at shortstop. Like, how cool is that for the rookie? He has such a unique player profile. Me and Peter on our past episode, I'll put that right here so you can click on that and watch it if you want to watch our podcast, went over the All-Stars, and I put over Jacob Wilson saying, man, this is the guy. He's going to be awesome. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's arguably in the top 5 for MVP candidacy at that time. I don't think he's there right now, but just really awesome that these guys get to represent the AL when it's been so star-heavy for so long. To give it to a guy like Jacob Wilson is really awesome. And I think that the AL All-Star team is such a cool mix of guys. And I'm just so happy for Javi Baez and Jacob Wilson in particular. I think those two deserve all the ups in the world. The AL also has Cal Raleigh having an amazing year, Vlad Guerrero, Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge, you know, a little more cut and dry in those positions, but that's what's going to happen with an All-Star game, right? The biggest names in the sport, Shohei and Judge, Freddie Freeman, and those guys are going to get the nods, but I'm really intrigued by the lower known / accepted by the league widely guys getting this run, and I think that that's amazing for them. Super cool. So excited for the All-Star game. I know it's kind of boring, but I love the All-Star game. It's kind of when baseball starts kicking into full swing for an NBA fan like myself. My Miami Dolphins made a couple of trades this week that are just interesting, to say the least. So the Miami Dolphins trade Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 27 fifth. The Dolphins also threw in a 2027 7th in that, and I've seen such mixed opinions on this trade from everyone. As a Dolphins fan, I really like this trade. I think Jalen Ramsey is getting older. He's 30. He's getting a fat contract this year, and I just don't think the Dolphins are in a space to need a win-now corner who's getting paid that much. With the way the past seasons have gone and kind of how things are looking in Miami, I don't think Miami's in a win-now phase. So to get that off your contract and move on and get your guy back, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's 28, I know not that much younger, but at a position where you can play longer at safety, I do really like that move. It hurts to see Jonnu Smith go, but also his career trajectory before this Dolphins year was not great. So to bring a guy in who had very little value, flip it, give him a great year, and then go get something like Minkah in a fifth, I like it. I understand, Raheem Mostert tweeting, you do good for a team and they treat you like trash, but also like both of you guys' career trajectory was nowhere near what it was when you joined the Dolphins. So to get mad that you performed well and they flipped you, seeing what you were before, it doesn't make sense to me, but I also don't lace up the cleats. I talk on the mic. So then the Dolphins made a crazy move of trading for a retired tight end. They traded a 6th and 7th round pick for 32-year-old tight end turned rapper Darren Waller. I guess he retired because he didn't want to block anymore is what I heard. So you're getting a guy who didn't want to block and putting him in a scheme where he never has to. Because that's what Jonnu did. They never blocked Jonnu, and they let him run routes. So I guess you're getting a guy who is 32 and can run routes out of the tight end position without the threat of blocking, and just hoping you can kind of do what you did with Jonnu with him and flip that career trajectory around and have him fit your scheme. I see where the Dolphins are coming from, but I just think that deal was pure comedy. Yeah, I think that'll be it for this episode of FTG Weekly. I know it's a little smaller of an episode, but it's because we're not going in depth on the NBA offseason like we will on Friday, posted Saturday. Please come watch that video. If you didn't watch the last one where me and my brothers went over the NBA draft winners and losers, please go do that. I think it's one of our best episodes yet, and it's only going to get better from here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, leave a like, leave a comment, and you know what the comment should say? Who do you think is winning the NBA offseason as of right now? Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you on Saturday with me and my brothers. Peace.